Hi guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ollie and this is Trek Theory. This is a brand new channel where I would like to talk about the newest Star Trek shows that CBS are planning at the moment, like Discovery, the new Picard one, and the other shows that they're developing at the moment. Mainly I will do theory videos as well as episode reviews, breakdowns and so on. The recent announcement that Sir Patrick Stewart is returning to this iconic role of Jean-Luc Picard got me thrilled over all edges, so this is why I could not sit still anymore. I think there's just so much to talk about and I wanted to share this with you guys. So today's video will be around the new Picard show and what I think it will be about. First of all, the great thing about this is that it is not only a continuation of Picard, but also about the whole galaxy in the prime timeline. So there can be lots of guest appearances from other old Star Trek phases. Not only TNG, but also DS9, Voyager, and so on. Of course, all this is just speculation from my end. Now, we got the information from Stewart that Picard might not be the captain anymore, which in my opinion makes perfect sense, considering his age. The thing that most people directly thinking is that now he will be the Admiral, which of course would make sense considering his past achievements for Starfleet and the Federation. But I don't think this will happen, because what is an Admiral really doing? He's basically sitting in an office and signing orders. Remember that this show is focused on Picard, meaning he's the main character. I could perfectly see Picard as an Admiral, but just in a supporting role. I don't think that the role of an Admiral has the depth and the excitement to carry a whole TV show. Also, in every show, and even in the movies, it was pointed out numerous times that one should never sacrifice the chair of the bridge for the Admiral's job. So I don't think this will be happening. Another possibility could be that Picard is a teacher on Starfleet Academy, training the next generation of Starfleet. I think this could be an interesting and fresh take on Picard's character, but here it is basically the same as for the Admiral's job. It doesn't have enough potential to carry a whole show. The role of the teacher mentor would be more of a supporting role, having the young students in the center and Picard as their advisor, thinking about basically Dumbledore in the Harry Potter movies. Dumbledore is a very important character, but he is just a supporting role, and Harry Potter and Ron and Hermione are the heroes basically. So I don't think this will gonna happen as well because of these reasons. Another idea I had, and this is would be a very fresh take on Picard, would be that Picard is actually the president of the United Federation of Planets, which I think could be very interesting. I would see him basically as an anti-Donald Trump. Would be very cool and, like I said, very fresh. And I can kind of see them doing that, but the theory that I will wanted to tell you today goes in a different direction. So I'm pretty sure, at least on what Picard's role is, I'm pretty sure what they're gonna do is that Picard will be an ambassador. We also have seen him basically in that role in the last TNG episode, All Good Things, even though obviously they pointed out that the events happened in the future of this episode is not the future that we will have in the Prime Universe, but we saw him in that role already. So, and I think Picard was always a very great diplomat whenever he made first contact with new life forms and new civilizations, or negotiated peace treaties with species that hated each other. And I think this is where we are heading. I think this new show will be very political and it will very much mirror the current world crises. Remember, it's not only Picard we haven't seen in 20 years. It's also the whole galaxy and its society in the prime timeline. The only event we knew of is the destruction of Romulus that we saw in J.J. Abrams' 2009 Star Trek movie. But we don't know anything more than that, nothing. So I think the theme, the big topic about this new show will be exclusion. It will be about refugees and the hatred of those who don't want them. I already pointed out, obviously, the destruction of Romulus was shown, so one could argue it's about these Romulan refugees. But I think this would not be extreme enough. Maybe they're going this way and I would like that, but I think it will be different. So listen, instead I think it will center about refugees that flee from a civil war within the Dominion. Now hear me out. 20 years is a long time, and in this time a lot happened. Now, during the Dominion War, approximately over 1 billion people got killed. So pretty much every citizen in the Alpha Quadrant has lost someone due to that war. Therefore, there will be still a lot of hatred for the Dominion, especially on Cardassia, which the Dominion destroyed before surrendering to the Federation. More than 800 million Cardassians were killed only at the very last day of the war. So my theory is that right after the events of Deep Space Nine, in the Gamma Quadrant, a big civil war began. The Dominion split it into two parts. There's one that wants to have a new Dominion with values such as peace and freedom, basically like the Federation does. It could be led by Odo and maybe the female shapeshifter. And the other part is led by the founders that are still hating on solids. Remember, solids is the word that the founders use for human beings that do not have the ability to shift their form. They see them as like a lesser life form. And this other part of the Dominion still don't trust them and therefore still wants to conquer and control them. And this only makes sense, considering that the Dominion believes solids are enemies and lesser life forms for over 10,000 years. Due to this civil war, lots of Dominion refugees will enter the Alpha Quadrant, such as Karema, Vorta, and maybe even Jem'Hadar, that are no longer addicted. Wouldn't it be cool to see those killer machines without the addiction to Ketra Salrite anymore and have them portrayed as totally normal people like you and me? I think this would be something that is totally Trek. Honestly, this is the core of Trek. Like seeing something or someone like Jem'Hadar soldier and have them turning around completely and portraying them as normal beings. And playing with that, like people still hate to see a Jem'Hadar because they know how much devastation they brought to the galaxy. So this would be awesome in my opinion. Now the refugees now coming to the Alpha Quadrant to seek for peace, but they will not get welcomed. Many species are refusing to help them, such as the Klingons and the Cardassians. The Federation are accepting them, but there is still so much hate in the population that it's hard for them to fit in. It then also will get worse over the years because there will be some terroristic attacks from the hardliners of the Dominion, which will raise the hate for the Dominion society more and more again, which then also leading to more and more normal Dominion citizens turning to the Dominion hardliners because they get so much hate from the Federation citizens and other citizens in the galaxy. So basically it's exactly how our world at the moment works. So that at the end of the day, we are the people making them more powerful. And I can see this as a very good way to bring in all these problems that the world has at the moment to a new Star Trek show. Now, where do I see Picard on this? I could see him as an ambassador of the Federation on Cardassia Prime. Remember, after the destruction of Cardassia from the Dominion, Cardassia was occupied by the Federation, the Romulans and the Klingons. So maybe the occupation is still going on. I don't know about it. It's over 20 years, so maybe not. But it would be logical that the Federation has an ambassador on this planet, and maybe Picard is on that planet, where we have Garak as one of the highest members of the Cardassian Union. Maybe he's the head of the new Obsidian Order that he maybe rebuilt. And he's like, the Cardassians are just against it. They're completely against the Dominion. The Federation, as I described it earlier, accepting them more. But then due to all these new terroristic attacks from the Dominion hardliners, the Federation gets more and more in a position where the Cardassians are. And they are starting to understand the Cardassians and possibly allying with them, especially with the Obsidian Order, the new Obsidian Order from Garak, and then trying to get rid of these refugees and also trying to build up a minefield in front of the wormhole to achieve that no more Dominion refugees and therefore also no more Dominion terrorists entering the wormhole. So I think the first part of Season 1 could play on Cardassia, using Cardassia as the main location and Picard trying to convince the Cardassians, but then there will be a point where the Federation is kind of falling apart, starting with the more educated worlds of the Federation leaving the Federation, starting with Vulcan. Vulcan will be the first major power leaving the Federation, causing in that the United Federation of Planets is not united anymore in the first time of history. And this will obviously then give Picard a new task, which is reuniting the Federation, and not just reuniting in it, but changing it, because Picard himself has major issues with this new Federation. He doesn't like it, he hates what it stands for. It's not the Federation he signed up for, basically. Now here we could go in two ways. First is that Picard is trying to save it with his #1 skill, which is his skill as a diplomat. So he's trying to convince Vulcan to come back, but not only that, but also convince the more hardliners in the Federation that we should not say no to refugees just because there are terroristic attacks from other people in the Dominion. But also it could lead in a very different direction, which will be that he will be kind of a leader in doing a revolution inside the Federation to save the Federation before it is falling apart completely. It would bring so much potential for a very intelligent and very deep new Star Trek series. It would be a pretty gritty version of our present situation, but it would be in the galaxy of Star Trek, with Picard trying to solve all this mess. Important here is that the aim and the overall feeling at the end of the day must be that we as people can be better than that. We must get a positive feeling, and we must believe in a better future for all life forms after seeing this show. Because the one thing that is separating Star Trek from all these other great shows is that Star Trek is able to not only change the history of television, but it's also able to change the future of humanity itself. So the big aim here, in my opinion, and I know this is like a big aim, is that this show really needs to have an impact on society, that maybe people, after seeing this show, change their mind, change their way of thinking about life itself. I know this is like a very, very big aim, but I think this could be possible to achieve if you have the right creatives on this, if you have passionate people. And I think what Patrick Stewart made clear in his announcement is that he was so happy to hear from all these people how Star Trek Next Generation actually changed their lives. So this could be something that that would be cool for Patrick Stewart to have such a show, like that could have a very big impact on the society again, such as the Next Generation had in the past. So that's my theory, guys. Do I believe it will come true like this? I'm not sure, honestly. Unfortunately, I think probably not. I'm sure whatever Kurtzman and his team are doing will be great as well, but I think the main reason why this might not get done like this is that it would borrow obviously a lot of the DS9 plot, so some people would maybe see it more as a sequel to DS9 events than a new Picard show. On the other hand, I think seeing Picard as an ambassador in that scenario would be something totally new and very refreshing, since we haven't seen Picard interacting with anything of the Dominion yet. They were mentioned in Insurrection and Nemesis, I think, but we never have seen him like debating with Vorta or something, and I think that could be awesome. So, and also I must say the Dominion, even though they were like the main antagonist in DS9, the Dominion is like the most unused Star Trek villain yet. I mean, we have seen the Klingons and the Romulans and the Borg now so many times in different shows and movies. So I think the Dominion, the potential of the Dominion is endless, and I think DS9 just scratched on the surface. So I think seeing them in a civil war and then the whole refugee plot could be very emotional and could get very, very deep. So I would really love to seeing that. So anyway, guys, post your comments below. Let me know what you think. And make sure to like and share this video and to subscribe to this channel so that I can do more such videos. I also have like a theory, I have that since years, about a Captain Worf movie. And I would like to maybe do a video of that as well. If anyone of CBS and Kurtzman's team saw this video, please guys, let me know your opinion as well. And also consider this my application for this new Picard show. I'm a writer and director as well, and I would love to be a part of this. I know it's a stretch, but I gotta try, guys. I gotta try. I'm sorry about that. So have a great day, folks, and see you around. Cheers.